Hello, it's Shirley and Sir Winston, and welcome to Kids Corner. Do you like gardens? I really do. All kinds of gardens. When we go traveling, I usually like to go and have a look at them. And there's one type of special garden that I've seen on my travels. It's called a Japanese dry landscape garden or a Zen garden. And I thought we could make a little one of our own. So, what are you going to need? Well, takeout container. It's useful if it has a top. It can be a circle or a rectangle. And I have some smaller ones if I want to put some things in. It's good to have sand, but if you don't have sand, I'm using cornmeal. I've got some little stones from my garden that I went out and picked out, and I've washed and dried them so that they're clean. I have a fork, and I've got a toilet paper roll and a red marker. So this craft is quite easy. What we're going to do is take the cornmeal and dump it into our container. Then we're kind of going to smooth it out to make sure that we've got enough to cover. And you'll want to make sure that you've got, say enough to cover that much all the way around. Because the thing with the Japanese dry landscape garden is that they rake patterns in the sand. Now we don't have a rake. We're going to use a fork, but if you're really keen to have a rake, there are some instructions on the internet about how to make one using chopsticks. So the Japanese dry landscape garden sometimes has a bridge in it too. So I thought, well, we could make a bridge. So I found a toilet paper roll, cleaned off the toilet paper from one end. I'm just going to fold it a little to make it easier to cut. And I'm going to cut it to about that wide. And then I'm going to cut one fold, and I'm going to make it trim a little bit off from each side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my red marker and I'm going to color it. And I'm going to color it on both sides. Now I've already done this, so there it is. And I've kind of bent it so that it has that arc shape, and I'll put it there on my garden. Now with the rocks, you can do different designs. Maybe they'll go in what would be the river of your garden. And then you can take your fork and create a wave-like pattern for where the river would be, back and forth, and maybe a different pattern for the land. But this is the beauty of it. You might decide, no, I'd rather not have the bridge. Maybe I'll put the rocks along the side, add a few more rocks to it to create a wall, and perhaps I'll do a different pattern. Maybe I'll just smooth it out a little with my fork to make it a little easier for the pattern, and perhaps I'll start with like a circle in the middle and spiral out to bigger circles to do it like this. And you can keep doing different things. sometimes it's called the Zen Garden because people contemplate. They meditate while they're doing it. But it's kind of fun to make different designs. And when you decide that you're done for the day, well, you could leave the rocks the way they are. Or if you want to make your other rocks that it's together with it, you can take some of your containers and just put them in. Maybe tuck in your bridge, cover your top, and it's ready for another day. Shall we have a little prayer together? If you could bow your head and repeat after me. Loving God, thank you for the gift of gardens. Help us to be kind to others and to your world. Amen. And we'll see you next time at Kids Corner.